Hello there and welcome back. In the previous episode, we added some UI elements to our game to display messages depending on the state of the game. In this episode, we will create a new scene which will be the main menu and write code to change or restart levels. Let's start by creating a new scene. Right-click the Scenes folder and choose Create Scene. Name the scene to Main Menu. Save the current scene and then open the new one by double-clicking it. Before we start adding UI, let's go to File, Build Settings. Here we have a list of scenes that will be used in the game after we build it. The main menu scene is missing, so drag it from the project view and place it above the level 1. The order is important as the scene on the top will be opened first when we run the game. You can now close the Build Settings window. Now we can start adding some UI to this scene. Right-click on Hierarchy and choose UI Text. Rename the text to Title. Then change the color to something that can be seen clearly. Align the text to middle. Next thing to do is to adjust the size. On Rect Transform, change width to 800 and height to 200. Then change the font size to something big, for example 80. On the text field, write a name for your game. If the text isn't displayed completely, adjust the width and height from Rect Transform. Then change the anchor point from the square on the left side of width. Hold down Shift and Alt and choose the top middle slot. Now the text is anchored to the top middle of the screen, regardless of resolution or device you use to play the game. If you wish to change the background color, you can do it by selecting the main camera and changing the color from there. Next, let's create a button. Right-click on Hierarchy and choose UI Button. Make sure that the button is not a child of the title text, but a child of Canvas. Rename the button to Start Button. The button has two main components. The first one is the image component that displays an image on the element, and the second one is the button component, which has the button's behavior. Now, change the position to 0 on all axes. The button is quite small. Let's change the width to 300 and height to 60. Next, open the button's hierarchy. Here we have a text UI element, which displays the text for the button. On the text field, write Start Game and change the font size to 30. Select the button on hierarchy and duplicate it. Rename it to Exit Button. Adjust the position on Y-axis so that the Exit button is below the Start button. For me, -150 is okay. Change the text to Exit Game. Okay, now we have the menu displayed visually. If we enter the play mode and click the buttons, we can see that they respond but nothing happens. That leads us to the thing we are going to do next, which is adding the functionality. Select the canvas and add a script component to it. Name the script to Main Menu. Next, open the script for editing. Again, we need to add a new namespace to gain access to scene-related code. Write using Unity Engine .scene management and semicolon. Remove the start and update functions. And then write two new custom functions instead. These functions don't have any default or built-in functionality. So, inside of the main menu class, write public void start game, empty, parentheses, and curly brackets. We set this function to be public so that the UI buttons can call it. You are free to give this function any name you wish, as far as it's not any default name. However, start game conveys the purpose of this function well. Then inside of this function, write scene manager dot load scene and parentheses. Inside of the parentheses, we need to refer to the name of the scene we want to load. In this case, it is level 1. So, write level 1 with double quotes and make sure it is exactly the name of the scene you want to load. Then, let's write the other function. Write public void exit game, parentheses, and curly brackets. And inside, write application.quit and parentheses. This is all the code we need for main menu. Save the script and return to Unity. Now we need to add these functions to the buttons. Select the Start button. Scroll down on Inspector until you see this on-click box here. Press the small plus icon and drag the game object that has the main menu script attached to it on the slot, which says None. The script is attached to Canvas, so drag it there. Press from No Function button and locate Main Menu from the list. From there, select our Start Game function. Then, select the Exit button and repeat the same steps, but instead of Start Game, choose the Exit Game function. Let's test our main menu. Super, it works! However, Exit Game doesn't work because we are running this game on Unity Editor. It will start working after we build the game and run it outside Unity. Now we can move back to level 1, but before that, save the main menu scene. Open the UI controller script. Here we need to add the condition to restart or change level according to situation. Let's start with restart. In the update function, we need to check if player is dead and we press R from keyboard. But before going there, we need to add the scene management namespace. Write using Unity Engine .scene management. Then let's return to the update function. Under the existing if statements, write if player.isDead 2 ampersands input.getKeyDown parentheses keycode.r. And inside, write scene manager dot load scene parentheses scene manager dot get active scene empty parentheses dot name. Here we are loading the currently active scene if those two conditions are met. Next, let's figure out how to change the main menu. It should be possible when player is dead or level is finished, and we press M from keyboard. Under the previous if statement, write if player.isDead, then two vertical lines, which represent the word or, then player.level finished 2 ampersands input keycode.getKeyDown keycode.m. Currently, we have a problem with our if statement. This is because the AND operator has higher precedence than the OR operator. This is similar to mathematics, where the multiplication has higher precedence than addition. So this if statement would first check what this AND statement evaluates to, and then use that result with the OR operator. Like in mathematics, where you can use parentheses to make sure that the addition happens first, we can use parentheses to make sure that the OR operator happens first. So, let's add extra parentheses to surround its dead and level finished. Then, write sceneManager.loadScene, parentheses, and inside main menu with double quotes. Finally, we need to check if level is finished, and we press the L key to move to the next level. Write if player.levelFinished, 2 ampersands, input.getKeyDown keycode.l. Then inside, write sceneManager.loadScene, parentheses, sceneManager.getActiveScene, empty parentheses, .buildIndex plus 1. This line will change to the level which is after the current one in the build order. Now, save the script and return to Unity for testing. When we hit spikes, we can restart, as well as return to main menu. Likewise, when we reach the goal, we can return to main menu. Also, changing the level should work, but we don't have another level yet. We will create the extra level in the next episode. Great work so far! Remember to save the scene. See you on the next episode.